La República de Guatemala.
The Republic of Guatemala, a land of many trees. In 1523, the Spanish conquistador Pedro de Alvarado conquered the Republic of Guatemala. He forced the natives to work the very fertile land, or they would die. Friar Bartolomé de las Casas talked to the King of Spain to see if they could end genocide of the indigenous people. So they came up with the new laws of 1542. The indigenous people were then called vassals of the king, so they had to pay taxes, and the king got even more money. The friar then began teaching the Guatemalans Christianity.
In 1821, the Guatemalan-born people began to successfully revolt. In 1823, Guatemala was annexed by Mexico. Later that year, Guatemala broke away from Mexico and formed the United Provinces of Central America, along with other countries, and the indigenous people of Guatemala became slaves since the Spanish were no longer protecting them. In 1871, Justo Rufino Barrios led the Liberal Revolution. He wanted to modernize Guatemala and reunite Central America. He took the country to war in order to complete his goal, but failed and was killed in battle.
Beginning in 1945 and ending in 1955, the 10 Years of Spring was the great outburst of democracy. The Guatemalans overthrew the military dictator General Jorge Ubico and democratically elected their next few presidents. It was a time of free speech and new reforms. One of the new presidents was Colonel Jacobo, whose reforms led people to think he was trying to turn the country communist, so the CIA kicked him out. In 1960, Guatemala broke out into civil war between military governments, during which time several thousand civilians were killed. The conflict between right-wing vigilantes and leftist rebels lasted until a peace agreement was made in 1996.
In 1982, Rios Montt was president and performed genocide on more than 1,700 indigenous Ixo Mayans. In 1986, democracy was restored. Guatemala signed several trade agreements which boosted their economy. They opened free trade with Mexico in 2000 and with the U.S. in 2005. In July 2006, they signed the Dominican Republic Free Trade Agreement, which increased investments and exports.
In 2007, Alvaro Colom was president in Guatemala, and the homicide rates were up. Between 2009 and 2011, they rose drastically. Using the slogan, Mano duro, cabeza y corazón, which means firm hand, head and heart, Otto Perez Molina became the president in 2012. Molina supported the discrimination of illegal drugs and wanted to lower crime rate. Because of this motto, it gave many of the people hope.
Today, Otto Perez Molina is still president. The country is very poor, healthcare is declining, and malnutrition is high. The indigenous Mayans are at the bottom of the social hierarchy, and because of these issues, many people emigrate from Guatemala to Mexico or the U.S.
Now you know more about Guatemala, as told by Stacy Allington, Milan Truong, and Megan Robertson.